What's up, all my QuantVue people? I wanted to show this because a lot of people ask me how I scalp and certain things. So first off, I really want to get into this video, but for people who don't know, I do on 4 of my funded accounts, I'm taking 1 trade a day, and you can see here that's going really well. Let's see, I'll just do it this way, where oh, that's not what I want. I want to do it. I want to show this. Here we go. So this is one of the funded accounts. You can see taking 1 trade every single day, and what that looks like. It's 100% win rate. The reason why I like doing this is because, you know, if you have a high win rate and you're waiting for really, really high probability setups, right? And you just try and make that $315, you can see, you know, up already 900 bucks on the week. And if you were waiting for to take this 1 trade every single day and you're waiting for that high probability setup, what's cool to think about is you're 8 trading days away from a payout, right? As long as you're letting those trades completely play out, right? You're 8 trading days away. That's it. If you win 8 trades in a row, you get a payout, right? And sometimes it's hard for people to wrap their head around, oh, how do you win 8 trades in a row, right? Well, again, waiting for very, 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 very specific high probability trades, and trades that I know that if I'm wrong, I can usually immediately kill them. And take very, very tiny losses. It's the same way that I scalp. And I wanted to switch over to this account here because this is my funded futures. I had a hard morning this morning. I was trying to, for whatever reason, in my head, I thought that I could, trade, have these big moves this morning. Before the Fed spoke, I was expecting kind of like a trend. I don't know. This is kind of like once you get something in your head, right? It's just, you're rocking with it in your head, and, I just couldn't get out of it this morning. And so if I scroll back here, see, I was trying to take these bigger moves, and what's funny is I feel like I was right. I wanted to short it, and I was trying to short it down here because we closed under the 200 here. I think we also closed on the Qs under a pivot, or let's see, on the Qs we closed. I'm looking really quick so I can tell you. We're under VWAP. We're coming down to a pivot point pretty far down. So I'm like, okay, once the pivot, we get this close, I enter a trade right at near the end of it, like 50 seconds in, right? And we end up pulling back. And once we come back over this previous wick here, right? If we don't push off of this wick, it was invalidated. And so that's when I closed the trade, $380 loss. I was just getting chopped up this morning, but that's not why I want to show people the video, right? I want to show people that I had to take a step back because I'm like, okay, we're in less than 100-point range this morning. We're not getting the moves I thought. We're Fed speaking. We're just chopping sideways. So I need to go, if I'm going to trade, I need to go into scalping. But at first I take a break and I, come up with the game plan and I go back to the charts, right? This is different from, in my opinion, this is different from revenge trading. Revenge trading is you're just going to keep on trading, trying to make back your losses. With me changing my game plan from trying to swing this account, because I try to make bigger trades on my funded futures instead of just scalping. But scalping is like my bread and butter. It's what I'm good at, right? And so I wanted to show people, I was down 700 bucks on this account. You can see all these losses. Those are all in this morning section before I decided to try to scalp. None of those were intended to be scalps. All those were made. I was trying to hold those trades longer, to get like a 50-point move or so, they're, $1,000, right? And you can see that was not working out. If I go to the fees, you can see how far down we were. We were $712 down on the day. You can see the time, 9:20. Once I started to scalp, right, my whole thing is that I only can lose $1,000 on this account a day. And usually I don't even want to get close to it, right? So I'm trading 1 contract, right, at this level, right? And I am waiting. I'm waiting for a high probability trade, I think, right? And I'm waiting to take that trade. And if I lose that very, very first trade, right? I'm done for the day. I close out the account. If I win that very first trade, right? This is where it's like different from just revenge trading. So if I would have lost this first trade when I came back, I'm done, absolutely done for the day. Turn it off, walk away, right? But if I win this first trade, all right, now I'm in it. And remember, I'm scalping for much smaller amounts, right? But if I ever come back below the $712, I'm done. I just walk away, right? This is my hard stop now once I win that first trade, right? So you can see I lose the next trade. Small, $45. But you can see eventually I recover this whole account and bring it into $1,000 in profit with a $1,700 run up. This is a $1,700 run up, and my biggest losing trade in that $1,700 run up was only $45. And I wanted to show people how I do this because, yes, I can show you all the QuantVue indicators that I use because I use a lot of the QuantVue indicators. I'm using footprint charts. I'm using, this is QQQ, the day, 15, 5, 2, 1, 4-box Rinko, and my stack. And there's QuantVue smart money concepts on some of these. You can see the Q wave here, right? You can see my Rinkos. I use a lot of the Q Pro stuff. So you can see how I have my chart set up on this side. At the same time, I am trading off of this chart as well. And I have my EMAs on this chart. I don't keep any of my EMAs on my TradingView chart. I keep my EMAs only on my TraderVate chart so I can easily see it, right? Now, in order for me to start scalping, I want to start to scalp into the direction of a trend. Now, we're in this downtrend. I don't know how long we are in a sideways day. So I think that we're going to continue kind of pulling back and chopping and chopping and dropping, right? Until the Fed speak, right? So what I want to identify is when does this trend break, right? And so you can see this little trend line right here, right? And once we break this trend line, can I get an entry, off that trend line, right? And so you can see my very first trade is right here at 44, right? Now I'm not just taking off that trend line, right? If I go to the 144 level on my TradingView charts, I can tell you what that level was. It was the break of this trend, but it was also, we're also on the QQQ pivot, right? So we broke above the pivot and we came back down to retest it. That is this level, right? Also lines up with this trend. So there's other reasons why I'm taking it, right? I'm looking at my 1 minute, my 5 minute, my 2 minute, my 15 minute, my pivots, my order block zones. I'm looking at all that and taking all that in to determine whether or not this first trade is a good trade, right? Once I identify that that was a good trade and I think that we're going to start trending up, right? I can then start to take scalps in here, right? And I do scalp both ways. I highly suggest that if you are new to scalping, that you do not try to reverse this, right? You will never trade against this, right? You will never short this, right? You can see though in here that I do take shorts. I know I take a short right here for 80. No, that's a buy. No, that has to be a short. Yeah. So that's a short right there, right? Now, there's reasons why I took these shorts. Either we're coming up to order block, we're coming up to, a stacked order on imbalances. We are coming up to daily VWAP. We're coming up to a pivot point. We're coming up to, a trend line, right? There's different reasons why I would short. But the problem, here's the thing with shorting something, right? When you're in a trend like this, you have to know, okay, where possibly might we go and where could we not go, right? A lot of times when I'm shorting, you can see I only took one contract on that short, right? And I killed it early, right? Why? We're in an uptrend, right? So I'm looking for the reaction off of a level if I'm trying to short it. And it doesn't mean that we'll always get the pullback. So as soon as we come down to like here and we start to pull back up a little bit, I kill the trade immediately, right? I'm not mess around and find out, type guy, right? I'm killing the trades. This is why my biggest loser is only $45. I'm looking for the reaction. So you can see scalping, scalping, scalping. I know I now I have identified this trend. We're just scalping, scalping, scalping all the way up this trend. Do you think it's a coincidence that I stopped scalping right before we tank? Look at where the trend breaks. Look at when I stopped scalping, right? Now we're in this downtrend. I'm not scalping. I didn't scalp any of it. I identified a trend, right? You can see this other trend line right here. Once we break, what do I start to do on this uptrend? I started scalping again, right? Look at when I stopped. I stopped scalping right up here, right before we tanked, right? So this is the power of trend lines, right? Scalping with the trend. This is what I mean, right? A lot of people don't understand that, you know, once I identify a channel, once I identify a trend line, and I can then scalp on that trend line, right? It's great. The problem that people have, I think sometimes with trying to scalp is that they'll continue scalping through this. Why? You have no idea what this is going to do now, right? You've broken the trend, right? We are you know, whatever, on a pivot, whatever. I guess I can tell you exactly where we were. What time is this? Would have been 10. This would have been 11 a.m. today. At 11 a.m. we were at 11 a.m. It was these candles right here. So we just came above daily VWAP, right? So this is us coming through daily VWAP. This is us bouncing on top of daily VWAP, right? And then breaking daily VWAP, right? Most people, the problem is I think people just look too closely at just one thing. People say, oh, we're above daily VWAP and now it's acting as support, so I'm only going to go long. You get wrecked, right? Again, identify the trend. When the trend breaks, stop trading it. Wait for you to identify something else, right? We have then a nice trend down. Then we have a nice trend up, right? And scalp with the trend. It seems like such a simple concept, but a lot of people don't understand. And so I think I did a beautiful job today. I think, you know, making sure that none of my trades were guesswork, right? All my trades were in a trend. As soon as that trend was broken, stop scalping it. In a trend, as soon as that trend was broken, stop scalping it. That's it, right? It sounds simple. I mean, it kind of is. You know, and the other thing is like, yes, I took longs and shorts in here. I took longs and shorts in here, right? However, if you were to just scalp longs, right, you're golden, right? I mean, if you're going to scalp longs on this trend, it's easier to then hold, right? You have to also know like potentially where are we going to potentially turn? So if you go like 1045 today, 1045 today, this is back up to daily VWAP right here. So this was daily VWAP that we bounced off of. We bounced off of it, came back down, bounced off it again, or went through it, then bounced off on the top. Then we broke through it, and we came back up to it again, and then we rejected right off of it, right? So you have to map out and know where those levels are. Where are those levels of potential resistance, potential support and resistance, right? What can act as support and resistance? So not just order block theory or highs and lows, but actually, you know, you have to include pivots. You have to include break of structures. You have to include, I include a footprint chart too now. So I just wanted to show people this because I think people are confused on how I scalp. And I think this is the best visual representation to show people, hey, not scalping, I'm scalping the trend up. Not scalping, scalping the trend up. Not scalping because we broke the trend. And then by the time I'm able to identify that we broke the trend and potentially want to try it, it's like scalp this again. It's just like then I have to look at like, okay, where are we? Like, are we potentially going to where are the levels of support? And if I feel like there's too many levels of support, if I see imbalances on this side, bullish imbalances, I'm not even going to try because it could just, you know, come right back up. So there's reasons why today, outside of, you know, just identifying trends, there's reasons why I decide to scalp going up instead of trying to scalp going down. That's not just like, that's just not like, it's not random, right? Does it look random? It's not random. So yeah, that's it for this video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And you know, this video is not really, I guess, about, you know, using the QuantVue indicators, but this is more just the ideology of scalping. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know down in the comments what your questions are. And I want to try to read all the comments every single week, and I will try to maybe do a live Q&A every single week talking about this. All right, see ya.